Welcome after a long time to another video from the WRC Minus series, but this time we won't look at any rally event and we won't accuse anyone from invading Poland.
Definitely have history with rallying. When I took over and I started it, I never looked back. And definitely I drove Toyota and I drove Ford, and it's good to be here. The time came where I retired. I said I will never stop motorsport, but went on to organize. But really, I felt that I owe motorsport and the FIA some more. And my experience in the WRC was there, of course, but not as much as a full. I was in Group N, and I enjoyed every part of it. And I'm going to enjoy my position here.
Except, well, this one is a week maybe. Now, the reason we won't look at a modern rally event is because it's boring, and that is what we are going to look at.
Breakfast!
Every car is basically the same, the lack of teams and lack of intelligent commentary and more, so let's jump in and start with the people who run WRC. Who runs WRC? Well, if we ask the internet, the answer is clear: state prison. And from my experience, that is truthful information. This state prison is called FIA, International Automobile Federation. It is actually run by various criminals these days, from terrorism and bomb development to having contacts over at World Health Organization. That is what FIA is today. And it's because of this that WRC is boring. Because when WRC was popular, the FIA was run by Nazis and murderers. 50-50, but you know. Let me take you on a trip into World War II. We are currently being shot at by the future FIA president. His name is Jean-Marie Ballester. And he is going to claim that he actually helped the French resistance. And he's going to receive a medal for that. So did he just tell people he was not with the Nazis actually, and they are just going to give him a medal? Yes. What? Well, he is French, so he was never harmful in the first place. Now let's move to the post-war era Europe, where Jean-Marie Ballester joins Robert Hersant, and they work together on making newspaper. By the way, the Robert Hersant guy started a popular car magazine that French read to this day, and also he was a leader in the pro-Nazi youth movement during the Vichy wartime years, because who is not a Nazi in France, apparently. But back to business, and business was booming. Jean-Marie Ballester with Robert Hersant made a fortune and became a wealthy peasant. Now where is the racing? Well, for that, we must go back 50 years into the past from now. Enter 1973, WRC is established by our boy, Jean-Marie Ballester. Jean-Marie Ballester took over the position of the president of FIA after a World War II paratrooper who worked with SOE and Belgian resistance, where he met his future wife, Michelle Dumont, which is known for working with resistance group Comet Line and aiding 250 airmen and escaping back over the canal, and way more. So simply, it was time to give the FIA leadership to the other side of the playfield, to the boys in grey. But back to 1973 and the thrilling start of Monte Carlo. The cars that would line up at the start line are iconic to this day, and while today's cars that line up on the grid will be forgotten in next 5 years, cars like Fiat Abarth 124, Citroën DS24 and Renault Alpine A110, which would go on to win the championship, are unforgettable and legendary. But while these days were interesting, the capturing technology of the racing was not. And thus, if we want to watch interesting WRC footage, it's time for Group B. It's the year 1982 and the golden era of rallying has begun. While the footage hits hard and is without a doubt the best WRC footage you can watch today, it doesn't hit harder than the numbers. Whether it's the number of spectators or horses under the hood of Audi Quattro or Peugeot 205, the value is beyond anything modern WRC could offer or wish. Especially the spectators and audience is at its peak, and around the tight, long, forgotten roads are suddenly hundreds of fans And not just around, the spectators are even on the road itself. It's a mayhem. But it is the mayhem that Group B is causing that puts its popularity directly in rivalry with Formula 1. And as the cars get more and more powerful, the more popularity rally gains. But it is when the rumors start to spread that rally cars are now even faster than Formula 1 cars that the harsh reality of cars with this much power, simply faster than a rally driver can think, start to crash. Accidents in Group B are rarely minor, and coupling it with spectators covering majority of the stage, lack of safety due to the infinite pursuit of power, and insane physical pressure on the drivers, the consequences of Group B are now forever written in the history books. But it is the famous crash of Henri Toivonen, a young rally driver who already suffered a near-death accident in Sardinia, in Italy, that put Group B down. While the corners of Sardinia were merciful, the Corsican corners asked for the highest price. One of the last comments of Henri Toivonen on the rally was, "This rally is insane, even though everything is going well at the moment. If there is trouble, for sure, I am completely finished. It's physically exhausting and the brains can't keep up with it anymore." It's the 2nd of May 1986 and Lancia Delta S4 plunges down the ravine from the road, carrying with it the 2 crew members. Due to the lack of fuel tank protection, the tank is ruptured and the fuel is ignited. Explosion follows. 3 hours after, Jean-Marie Balestre definitively bans Group B. All that remains at the end of the day is wreckage, a burnt-out shell of not just the car, but the entire golden era of rallying. Simply the cars were getting so fast that slowly but surely, the weakest part of the machine became the man sitting inside it. But despite the tragedy of Group B, it presented us with rally as art and generated so much amazing footage we can watch today instead of modern WRC. If enough interest is shown, possibly continued. Nonetheless, if you've enjoyed the video, like and subscribe would be welcomed, and if you have any kind of question, definitely share your opinions down in the comment section. Thanks for watching, this has been 47th Gear, and goodbye.